Hello guys, welcome to the channel, Leo here. Today I want to make a quick video, and the purpose of this video is try to explain you the Torug's Pact, how it will work on the next patch. Is this a buff or is this a nerf? So they made this change in such a way it's a nerf and a buff. So let me explain you like this. Before this patch, Torug's Pact was decreasing the cooldown by 1 second, and it was applying after the infused. So let me tell you the basics first. There are we are interested in at least in this video, two types of enchants. The first one is the enchants like fire, shock, poison, disease, oblivion, such enchants that deal damage instantly. So these enchants have 4 seconds of cooldown, and when the infused weapon reduces their cooldown by 50%, the cooldown goes down to 2 seconds. So before this change, Torug's Pact was applying after the infused, and because it was 1 second cooldown reduction, it would reduce the cooldown to 1 second only. So every light weave, if you are doing it perfectly, every single light weave would proc the enchant. Now that means this enchant proccing with 100% uptime. So I mean, it would proc in every light attack weaving. So what happens is in this patch, so we have a 4 seconds of base cooldown, right? And the infused weapon still reduces it to 2 seconds, but Torug's Pact now doesn't do that anymore. So Torug's Pact decreases the cooldown by 30%. So if you multiply 2 times 70 divided by 100, that will give you 1.4 seconds of cooldown. So the damaging enchants, the first category of enchants, is nerfed if you are using Torug's Pact. So that means, but it doesn't look that big of a deal, right? Just 1.4 seconds. It is a big deal, because before then you could proc the enchant with every second. That means every light weave you do would proc the enchant. But now it's not like that. Every 2 weaves will proc the enchant. So we can basically say it's a 50% damage reduction nerf. It's something like that if you think that way. Of course, in PvP, people might want to delay their weaving in order to get the proc every time, but how effective that will be, we don't know. So as for PvE tanks, this is the important part. The Torug's Pact is actually a buff. Let me explain how. So we have 10 seconds of cooldown on the second category of enchants, like Crusher, the Berserker, the Hardening, that kind of stuff. So what will happen is these 10 seconds of cooldown will drop to 5 seconds thanks to the infused weapon. And before this patch, before this Torug's Pact change, the 1 second of cooldown would drop this 5 seconds of cooldown to 4 seconds, which was good. We could proc the enchant before it ran out. Now what happened is we still have the 10 seconds of cooldown, and infused weapon still reduces it to 5 seconds. But now when you take 70% of 5 seconds, that would make 3.5 seconds of cooldown. So before this change there were 4 seconds of cooldown. Now there is only 3.5. This is a buff. So if you are using the second category enchants, you are getting a buff to your cooldown. But if you are using damage enchants, the first category, this is a nerf. So that means the Torug's Pact was very much buffed before with the infused weapon changes. Now Torug's Pact is even more valuable now. It was the obvious choice while I was reading the patch notes, because as you know, sharpened is nerfed as well. So people will lose some critical unless they use the you know what I mean. I mean, people will lose penetration because they will be using weapons like precise or infused. So sharpened is off the table now. It's not doing the best damage anymore. So people will need penetration. And Torug's Pact makes the Crusher enchant reduce the armor of enemy somewhere around 2.7k, which is an insane number. So that's a very good change, and I really like it. I think, I don't even say I think, I'm sure if this goes live like this, I will be using Torug's Pact, like no doubt. And you know, the Ultijan builds is slightly indirectly nerfed. So how did that happen? People won't use Thief anymore. So there's that. Unless they make a build around high critical with Shadow Mundus. Only then, like, only if they reach 85-90% crit, then the Ultijan builds would make sense. But as I said, I was some of you may remember I was running a Ultijan build, then I switched to penetration build, and it worked out amazingly. So what will happen is people will need penetration, and we must give the group some penetration. And the best way to do it is using Torug's Pact or Alkosh, one of them. And as you know, the most valuable thing is single target DPS. And even though Alkosh gives higher penetration, the Torug's Pact is much more reliable. So that's why I'll be probably using Torug's Pact if there's no changes to it anymore. This looks pretty nice. Getting 100% uptime on the Crusher, like, it will be very nice. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope I could explain if this is a buff or a nerf. For PvE tanks, this is a buff, and for PvP Oblivion Cancer builds, this is a nerf. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Take care.